a $57,000 a year private school in Manhattan, issuing a glossary of terms that they claim make the facility a more inclusive place. The Grace Church School in NoHo, you don't know what that means, but north of Houston, okay, offering a 12-page guide for staff, parents, and students, encouraging them to stop using terms like mom and dad. Even stop saying happy holidays, providing them with alternative sayings to avoid offending anyone. So why can't we just let kids be kids? Stacy, this seems a little crazy. I don't want to, look, I know in this day and age, maybe somebody has two moms, maybe they have two dads, but to not be able to call your folks mom and dad, give me a break.
So let me tell you something. This is where I really lose my temper, because I just remember being pregnant with Maya. You know, I'll never forget it. And I went from being pregnant with her to actually being her mom the day she was born. And I remember taking her home from the hospital, and I just felt so different. It was like my whole world had been upended because a tiny little person had appeared from inside my body. It was like this magical, epic experience. So I remember the first time someone said to me, "Oh, you're a mom." And I felt like the little Mario when he goes from tiny size to big size, and it's that cute little sound that he makes, faster, and he does everything with more power. That's how I was. And I was her mommy. And the first time she said, "Mama," I just remember these things. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm the luckiest person on the planet. I have this little person. She's all mine. I mean, of course, I shared her with my husband, but she was my child. And so I still sometimes, she'll come home. She came home for Easter just for a few hours. And she walked in the door, and I could feel all this stress shedding off my body, just looking at my child. And so, you know, no one can tell her what to call me.
Right.
She's a child. And if she wanted to call me Baba, you know, that's not even a proper name for a woman. That'd be our business.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand this visceral connection that you have to your offspring, and they don't have the right to get in between that.
Yeah, and they're trying to make this political. When my daughters call me daddy, I melt. Bobby, I don't know if you have kids, but, you know, I just melt. Brings a tear to my eye sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. And this whole, you know, woke mob cancel culture, it just drives me insane. I mean, you name it. It's just Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Cream of Wheat guy, Land O'Lakes lady, Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head. It goes on and on. On my show the other day, I covered Portland, Oregon. They're going to name this high school. The mascot they picked was an evergreen tree. Seems easy enough. That's being attacked now at that it could be racist. An evergreen tree. I mean, where does it end? I mean, it's just insane. And here's the thing is people like to complain about the public school system. This is creeping in more and more to these private schools as well. Religious or these elite schools. It's not safe. We have to fight back against this culture because it is embedded, and it's up to us to take a stand. These parent groups that are speaking out against critical race theory and all the rest of it, they need to keep going.
Amy, I hate to do this. If you could give us your thoughts in 30 seconds, we did want to update people on what's going on in Texas, but your thoughts on this topic.
Sure. Well, when you hear the word mama, that's a huge milestone, and that's something that you'll never forget when your child first uses that word. Now that my children are older, they will kind of, you know, poke at me a little bit if they're not so happy and use Amy, and I'll shoot them, you know, the death stare, like, don't you dare. You better call me mom. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that people don't realize there actually is a value in calling mom and dad, and that's not to put anybody else down. Okay, panel, Amy Tarkanian, Stacy Washington, Bobby Everly, a pleasure talking to all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If we can update this, though, for people at home very quickly. Bryan police are now holding a press conference. They're holding it right now with some additional information about the shooting that's happened in Bryan, Texas. At least 6 people are injured, many of their injuries critical, including at least 1 police officer who was shot amid an ongoing pursuit of the suspect. That coming out of the press conference being held in Bryan, Texas right now. We'll have more after this break. Stay with us.